What are the disadvantages of a cashless society? Cash exchange is the easiest way to make a transaction. And it is anonymous. A cashless society will require two things when two people make an exchange. 1. The two participants must have compatible devices and softwares to make the transaction happen. 2. The two participants must give up their identities to whoever gives approval to the transaction. Then it will be reported to the esteemed government. Thus, those are the most obvious and pronounced disadvantages of a cashless society. For the first point to happen seamlessly everywhere you go, society will need to make a lot of investments. Shops or any seller will need to buy different hardware, machines, that accept different payment methods, and if shops can't afford to do that, someone else has to. Buyers must also equip themselves with different types of non-cash payment methods in case the seller doesn't write hardware. Normally everyone would revert to cash as the default if there's such mismatch happens, but cashless means you won't have the option anymore. To sum up, the first point is that the money society must invest into payment processing solutions and the hassles of having mismatched payment method and processing systems. The second drawback is the loss of privacy between participants of transactions. With cash, there is no need for a person or an algorithm to approve of your transaction. Without cash, you'll need this middle entity to help mediate the transaction. Now, if it is on record, there will be a way to collect and process the information. Yes, some cryptocurrency is, at the moment, able to make that analysis process extra difficult that the authority just simply gives up. But no, the arm race means it will not be the case forever. No algorithm can match the anonymity that cash provides to buyers and sellers. In short, the second point is that every transaction you make will be tracked down and appropriately taxed. Think of that $5 you gave the homeless man on the street the other day. In a cashless society, he will need a payment processing system to receive it, then it will well tracked and well taxed. I can envisage at least two grave dangers. 1. Loss of anonymity and privacy. Cashless payments are almost invariably traceable. Everything you buy, or at least where and when you spend your money, is recorded and analyzed. That, in turn, is a violation of privacy. The ability to retain your individual privacy is an indispensable freedom in a healthy society. It is only in private that you can experiment freely with who you are, what you think and develop as an individual. Suppose, for example, that you want to support a charity supportive of women's rights in some developing country where their activity has been banned by a despotic regime. Electronic payments could, in principle, be linked to you, and that might limit your ability to enter that country, or travel to countries allied to them. Cash, on the other hand, is not traceable that way. 2. Poor people are unlikely to have access to technology that enables cashless payments. How many homeless people have a credit card, or a device on which Bitcoin can be transferred? What will happen to such people? Loss of privacy. Every transaction is recorded and is thus traceable. Depending on the method of payment, the individual can be tracked and a profile can be made based on purchase history and frequency. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's market data research. I received an email over the weekend from a large retailer informing me that my transaction history at their retail outlets was now available through their online sales portal. Lucky me, all done for my convenience should I need to reorder anything or initiate a return. They put it all together based on the credit card I happen to use. They had stored the number on the online portal, then connected it to purchases at their retail outlets. It's not for my benefit, it is for theirs. Loss of privacy. I would speculate that a cashless society would exacerbate a problem which is already pervasive. Once the sense of handing over something tangible, of value, in payment for goods and services, in some people there is a reduction in the psychological brake that prevents binge buying. Another step down the slippery slope of living outside your means. I am sure that a cashless society is heralded by big business. It will be easier to sell to the herd, but will it really raise their standard of living? Consumer debt is a huge problem in many countries. I think it would become even more prevalent.